Hello, this is my case, and this witch has to be stopped. It's sending bad vibrations. Believe me, you may not believe me. You may think that, yes, everyone has the power to protect themselves. And the Quran even says that take your precautions against the other people who try to drain your energy and evil eye and all. But in London, this person told me that this witch is very powerful and I need help because this witch is sending evil spirits and has ruined my life, my thoughts, influencing my thoughts and all. And so, yes, there is rape and murder. No matter how powerful we may think we are, but there are some beasts out there. You definitely have to lock your door if you're living in a corrupted place. So there was a time when in Karachi, we didn't have to lock our doors like here in Dubai. But there are places where now in Dubai also we have to lock our doors at times. So I sense this person again is the eldest uncle. He's sending me some threats through telepathy. The people he hired. Maybe it's someone from Oman, his relative Zahur, an expert in black magic and energy dealing. I hope I don't have to explain myself in detail. Those who know that there are crimes and on the psychic level too. So since childhood, my grandmother paternal was after me. Oh my God. Please, this person is very clever. They are very clever. And yes, in Karachi American School, Dr. Webster asked me about lesbianism, and I laughed it off because there's no feeling for Miss Desad. There was no feeling like that. I had grand-aunts, and so I grew up with two of my grand-aunts, and one of my grand-aunt who had a separate apartment, who was married. Her doors were always open for us. So was my grandfather's door, always open for us. And my other grand-aunt lived with my grandfather, her brother. And they were always there for us. Yes, in childhood, I forgot to tell Dr. Webster, I had seen something from my father's side, lesbian acts. But these people, their hearts are, the good-hearted people. Like my friend in Karachi American School told me, that the good-hearted people don't think like that. So about Miss Desand, my friend didn't think in that way, because she was a good-hearted person, and no good-hearted person thinks like that. And we can see movies, which have all this dancing and whatever, seduction. But if you're strong and your mind is good, then it doesn't affect you. However, good-hearted people, clean-hearted people, it's good to stay away. But if we do see these objectionable things, it doesn't affect us. It never used to before, until our minds were strong. So I'm really sorry if there are lesbians and someone has indulged in this. May not believe that my love for Mr. Sa was pure and platonic. But do I have to suffer for them or what they have indulged in? Why should I suffer? I mean, there are cases where I read a story book in a story novel that a father raped his daughter. So it doesn't mean that my father is like that, God forbid, and or everyone else's father is like that. And so later on, during the separation, they made my mind flip and doubt myself, and God knows, like, it could be in the subconscious and unconscious. My God. And have you dreamt about it and things like that. So I was always complaining to God because this thing about lesbianism, it was chilling for me at that time. I cannot tell you how chilling. Later on, when I was separated, not when Dr. Webster told me, I laughed it off because Miss Dessa was still with me. But later on, it was, I've suffered so much, and now I have to face this. And, they made Miss Dessa write in my school record, either I stay or she stays. And yes, money is important, because if tyrants have money, then they can make so much mischief, spread so much mischief, and oppression. Like, I've been oppressed by the money my eldest uncle has. And do you see how a wicked woman's sons go on so strong? And believe me, I've been to the house, big house. It's a really big house here in Dubai, and it's like an ice palace. So money is, when you want to live with your loved one, then a simple home, I'll tell you, a simple home is much, 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 much better. You don't want to live in that big house in Dubai. Anytime I would, if my old house was there, they had not broken it and made a building, I may have wanted to buy my old house back and live there in the old area. And like you could be bribed and sent to London, and believe me, it's not, if your parents, if there's not this love, then, like I would, if I had to choose living with, my principal, she has an old house, and we had an old house, but her house is much older than mine, my old house. So if things were great with me, I would anytime go and want to live in Soldier Bazaar, my old area. So money is not that important. When you have good relationships, really, when I was falling sick, I didn't feel it. I had a ruptured foot when I was playing hockey. So what I was doing is herbal. This lady would come, massage lady, every day, and massage this thing, haldi haldi on my foot. So you really don't need such expensive medical doctors and going to hospitals. And then later on, during the separation, I couldn't even stand a fever. It was too much for me. So money is not important. A good relationship is. True love is. True love is important. Don't lose that and get bribed and impressed by the money and luxury, things like that. Please. I mean, at least I know about myself. I tell myself not to get impressed. Although, my mother used to give me money like anything in London. I would go shopping and play sports outside, so I could buy anything from childhood. And so when I used to come to Dubai and live with my father's family, I could hardly want to live for 2 weeks here in Dubai. Although there was this place is such a good place for shopping and all, but no, I didn't want to live here. And so many facilities, you see, but I was always wanting to go back to Karachi. So you're very, very lucky to be less needy than the rich people. If you can hard work, earn your own money with your hard, honest earning and work, or even you can work smart. But please don't take bribes and don't be impressed by the big houses and luxuries you see here or anywhere. Yes, and the food here is so tasty and things like that. But even the food taste deteriorated in Karachi. Mixed, so much water being mixed in the milk, and even the bread didn't taste that good, the sliced bread in Karachi. But still, I would prefer Karachi, near to my principal, where love is, where my good relationships are, where my down-to-earth friends are. But you see, what happened in Karachi was that it was good. We were living in Soldier Bazaar, and it was good. And we used to go to Karadar, and we still do for Muharram when we are there. But the thing was that all the thieves and, corrupted people and all this going to Sadr, and then these people would touch women. So that was really bad. That's why it was hard to take over there. Although it's not because of money. You may earn a lot of money and get rich, but it won't improve your life. If someone gives me $100,000 to stay in that uncle's house, my grandmother's house, I would reject those dollars. So really miss those times, those olden times in Karachi, where some of the Christians, when I was in St. Vianney's, or we used to cross that area, St. Patrick's Church, some Christians would sit on those stairs and be talking. It was safe at that time. Or my father would go with his friends and take me to Old Clifton and just sit on the benches there and talk. So it was safe that time. So it was really good. We don't need that much money. Yes, and I love London. When I had a house there and in childhood, and my family was there, my mother was there, and it was safe out on the streets. We could go anywhere, very, very safe. And later on, when I went for education, it wasn't the same. I lived there for 3 years, and I used to go home, but it wasn't the same. However, it's so safe in London on the streets and roads, and that's why I prefer London. मुझे तो अभी हैरत होती है, और आपको भी हो रही होगी, कि एक दादी और एक सास जिससे घर लूट लिया. I mean, इंसानियत, हमारी इज़्ज़तें, हमारा वो चैन लूट लिया. उनके बेटे कितने स्ट्रॉन्ग, कैसे खुदा उनको इतने पैसे. लेकिन कुरान में आयत है ना कि खुदा जिसको नहीं चाहता है उसको पैसे, औलाद, सब कुछ दे देता है इस दुनिया में, और नफ़रत हो जाती है उनसे कि ये हमसे कुछ मांगे नहीं. और हाँ, मेरी छोटी आंटी ने कहा कि खुदा जिसे चाहता है ना उसे कुछ ना कुछ कमी में रखता है कि ये मुझसे मांगे. ये इसकी आवाज़ में सुनो, एंजल्स को बोलता है इसको नहीं दो, देर से दो. मुझे इसकी आवाज़ इतनी पसंद है. जब ये मुझसे मांगता है तो मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है. तो इसलिए, और खुदा जिसे नफ़रत करता है, नहीं चाहता है, उसे हर चीज़ दे देता है. कहता है मुझे इसकी आवाज़ नहीं पसंद है, मुझे बिल्कुल नहीं पसंद है कि ये मुझे ज़रा भी पुकारे. तो ऐसे, और लेकिन ये कि ये लोग फिर भी इमाम बारगाह है, और वो एक्स्ट्रा चीज़ें, एक्स्ट्रा बहुत लग्जरीज़ हैं. हाँ, लेकिन ज़हरा, डेविल ने भी कहा था ईसा मसीह को, दुनिया चाहिए, मैं पूरी दुनिया की हुकूमत तुम्हें दे सकता हूँ. तो उन्होंने कहा कि नहीं, तो जो उनको मिल रहा है वो शैतान से मिल रहा है. हेलो.